That's how deep they be getting with it and shit. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Uriel? Um, real quick, I had wrote it down. Damn, where'd it go? Basically, it was like I was talking having a conversation with my mom and them, and it was talking about like Cain and Abel and the cursed people. Where does that come from, and is there really a cursed people, or what is that pointing to? Cain and Abel.
Now it's off the cuneiform as above. So it was different names on the cuneiform, but when the sun in Egypt go over the signs and symbol, which was another clock over that time, it'd be like what we're considering right now, from 10 a.m. in the morning to 12 p.m. micro and macro, the burning bush, 80 days within summertime. 80 days within from the beginning of spring, which will be Gemini, or the end of spring. 80 days, every season is 90 days, right? So the Gemini is an updated concept of Sodom and Gomorrah. And Sodom and Gomorrah is another Jew or Mason, different ideology of the same practice of the first two sons, aka Cain and Abel. So all of these is based off Gemini, just different in different words, but it's all astronomy and astrology. And the Bible ain't one book, it's a book of many scriptures. And the Talmud teaches from the low-hanging fruit, the Jews' perspective, that they start arguing with the Greeks based off these being practices. So you know that these are different interpretations of a practice. And that's how you get Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John being just the Taurus, Scorpio, Aries, and Aquarius right now, and shit like that. The four different sun positions, the four different seasons for that one sun position, fixated anchor energy. So Cain and Abel is a Gemini concept. So it's basically confusion, two masculine thoughts having to come to an agreement. So this is why it's the children of Adam and Eve. Adam is logic, left brain of the Kabbalah tree and the tree in the Garden of Eden. Eve is the right brain, your emotions. The tree is your body, and then the bones and the organs is the fruit and the branches, and the nature that made it, the mind that condensed become the low-hanging fruit that make you in the garden in the first place, is the snake, the demiurge, Yaldabaoth, the desire, the god of you and hell. So any god y'all give it a title. Now, me bringing up Adam and Eve, this how they say this is the sons. So the first sons as above, that practice as below. When your emotions is closer to your flesh, the tree. So when you do something that suit the flesh, your emotions connect with it. That's Eve biting the fruit, liking that desire. If you know it's bad, but you logically justify it like it ain't so bad, that's Adam biting the fruit after Eve gave it to him. So anytime you logically justify something bad and try to think it's good, that's you justifying something that suit the flesh. Adam and Eve, your logic, Adam, Eve, emotion, getting connected to the flesh, and whatever you was doing with the flesh, you logically thought it was good. Now you're in a confusion, Sodom and Gomorrah. Now you're trying to do practices to make yourself think it makes sense inside your body. As a spirit, you observing these two masculine thoughts, not one masculine and feminine. Now it's two masculines. Two of the same energies create harm. Two different ones create harmonious. So now you harming yourself in your mind. You don't know if you want to buy the McDonald's chicken sandwich or the Burger King McDouble. So now you're indecisive. Whatever one you start to desire more, now you're going through Sodom and Gomorrah. Your spirit, being the observer, smelled the blood of the desire, or mental, bending it into blood. That's the real Christ. And you desire that more. So the idea that you choose, let's say you pick the Big Mac over the McChicken. That's Cain killing Abel. The Big Mac became Cain, and the McChicken that you didn't pick became Abel. So if the thoughts represent men, thoughts, right? It's an allegory of one decision being a man killing that other decision that you didn't make, being able. So it's enable. And now, as a spirit, that blood from that mental form is adrenaline for you to do it. That's them describing your spirit smelling that blood and liking it. Now they do that as above, so below, and they get rich on a global scale, aka all y'all houses and apartment come with a stove. And what do you cook on it? There you go. So that's the Cain and Abel. When you're confused with two masculine thoughts to come to an emotional agreement, you're lost in confusion. Cain and Abel, Sodom and Gomorrah, Joachim and Boaz, Castor and Polex.
So is that going down to astrology? Is that more signs like that Sagittarius and Libra and Virgo and all that type shit? Like those other people, are those allegories towards the star alignments?
Yeah, it's a practice. All of this is a practice. We're creating a script how the sun and moon do a full cycle a year, and each portion of it where they're interacting that out and creating a storyline. So when we play that out down here, it quote unquote supposed to give us some understanding, like our own inner light or some shit like that. So it's just like they just came up with the practice based upon looking at what the sun do in nature at that time and coming up with some over exaggeration about it in their mind, how they can play it out as humans to create a rulership down here.
So the whole book is Masonic.
Right. They made it. They made the Mason book. They made the Egyptian text too.
And when you say that's the Berbers?
Yeah, well, they copied from what the Berbers was actually doing, being guilders. So guilders is like shit we gonna do anyway. When you start to capitalize and make money off of it, make it a bargain and gain system, aka a corporation, a country, or a government over it, then it becomes masonry, a craft, a way to do it without having to do the hard work, making other people do your work for you. So masonry is basically how to do mental manipulation. So religion is one of them, politics, entertainment, education, architecture, art, symbolism. All of their practices is how to manipulate the actual person that's supposed to be in that seat, and they could be a little nerd in that seat.
Is that wrong necessarily? Isn't that just using your
Yeah,
brain? I mean, of course you can make it evil based off what you're doing with the power, but is that in nature wrong?
yeah. Mental manipulation is wrong. Because
But
if you
like
gonna
that's what
sit,
you do if you're a leader. How else can you lead people?
well, if you leading, you could just be genuine. People will be glad to follow. It seemed like y'all always got a complaint to vote. Y'all got a complaint to do this. So they got to make y'all follow them hidden and create symbolism for y'all to do what they're doing anyway, like prayers and shit and holidays. They can't even just come out here like me and just have y'all like doing something. So they're lacking something. That's mental manipulation. Because if y'all was to actually discuss something for manipulation to be there, there's some type of alternative motive for someone to even care to hide it. Because if I can do something, I don't care how if you know it or not. You can't do it like me. So obviously, it's some energy that they can't do. That's where their original intent is starting from. And if they know how people outcome and reactions is. So if they're keeping something hidden, it must be something that they know people are going to react to in a negative way, or that wouldn't exist to keep something hidden. So this plan on that rolling is mental manipulation that they know is wrongdoing behind it. Because if people knew what they was actually doing, the power don't work anymore. So it's not power, it's just mental manipulation. They could get punched in the nuts.
So do you believe there's actually a curse? Like, so the current Jews and Masons, little dick energy people, are these cursed people, or are these people like what is the point of their existence in like the whole spectrum of life?
They curse themselves. Damn, so when I say curse themselves, anytime you over exaggerate, it no matter what species you in, you create a hell for yourself. Now, here's the thing we all do. We made this world together. So all of us is carnating, incarnating, and reincarnating. So you coming back here. Your mind is a seed for you to come back here. So any concept of you in your mind, you create that circumstance and living condition again down here. So when the shit that they're creating and things is like all made up in some way because it don't go nowhere but being born back here. And then the thing that you got on your mind, that become your life. So think about what they do. They work hard at order, structure, concept. They're always the footstool for the real gods, people like me, to just stand on things and use their lostness so they live out of hell. So any order, prayer, practice is a spirit that's in hell that lacks something. And all the spirit that don't need that assistance already in the light, never started in darkness. So they're always the spirits that build things for the comfort of the more broader spirit. And that's what they don't understand. So they're in the world thinking they're ruling, but they're dying unfree. Their concept of being free is the most rooted, stuck in a brick. They're stuck in a metal object. So they're always going to be stuck in some type of mental concept, period, in a hell.
Yeah. Okay. I got a follow-up question, but I got a lot of process. Okay. So is business in nature evil? Is it the business that's like, is that demonic to want to be a businessman? Because right now I'm trying to get to a space in which I can be financially free, I can be more spiritual, I can move, I can travel, I can
I
do
wouldn't
shit
even
I
tie
want
that
to
to
do.
spirituality. I wouldn't even question both of those things. You're already in a demonic world. That's what they created. So you gotta get it how you live. You being more spiritual ain't about to intervene with how they created the world. Because in that context, spirit means something else in Latin and all that other shit. So you just have to be a sovereign individual and know what world you in, and you know you don't want to go hungry, and you know you in the world that you in. So that even separate a lot of guilt that you would develop from a lot of they bullshit on it that they have on people's mind.
Okay. So do business, but do it better. It's not what you do, it's how you do it kind of
Right.
energy. Like, okay. Being able to do business, but doing genuine good business and not being
No, it's no such
competing
thing as
with.
genuine good business though. If you in business, business is a energy. So it don't matter what business you step in, you got to see how it's made. And there ain't no human who made a business that was based off genuality. You know, the closest to that is someone who got some free money to make a rescue mission or something like that, or a Salvation Army. But once it get to business, ain't no friends in that. So if you act out those characters, you're taking characters that may be good in another area, not in that area though. I'm saying that area was made by demons. You gotta fight
For
fire with
instance,
fire.
I've been tapping in with you for a minute. So I've been developing my wheels. One of my wheels is I played football my whole life. I've been fighting my whole life. So I'm a personal trainer. So right now I'm in the process of getting like my little online courses and shit going. I see that's a good little avenue to get, some good little passive income going. But I'm coming with the holistic diagram. I'm coming with the astrology readings. Like I want to really I'm pushing it on the life coach type tip where I'm, hey, look, boom, do this, and this, and then get your soul right, do this, and this. And you feel me, give them a real blueprint. Hey, this how you get right physically, mentally, spiritually.
Now,
I'm trying to
now,
come like that.
whatever you're pointing people to, if you're producing results, whatever manuscript you're using, and you said astrology is one of them and shit like that, charge. That's the world we in. And if a person want to develop that knowledge, they should know this the world we in. Invest in yourself. And
Yeah.
if a person ain't willing to invest in themselves with something they don't know, they don't respect game or the world we in. They could go somewhere and think spirituality and come off the land thing, and they'd be somewhere being Beavis and Butthead. And you being in a position to be intelligent enough to be in a position to have a quality that someone don't know, and you could show them as a result of it. Even if you're a personal trainer, you could show them you could snap a mannequin neck in a way that a person don't know how to do that. Yeah, that we in the world. You charge. You know what I'm saying? And if they want to learn how to snap a neck like that, they need to invest in themselves. And then hopefully they could get in this world position where they each one teach one. They should be thanking you, and they should be thinking themselves that they put themselves in a position of investing themselves and value themselves. So maybe they could go in the next door building and they could teach people and get paid how to snap a neck, and each one teach one. But until we understand that's the world we in, that take away all the goddamn guilt that this other psyop that they throw on us to kind of make us docile again too. We got to be sovereign in all areas, even they bullshit.
Okay, and this my last one because you said this a couple of weeks ago. or it was really a couple days ago. You was like you work. I think you said you work with God, or God works beside you, or you like something. I'm trying to understand how you use the mechanism of God to do things if it's nothing.
Right. Make it so now we have to be one of a kind. So you're trying to make nothing look like something because you're already trapped in something. So all these somethings you're in, the more you can make it look like nothing. Now this when it's on your individual path. Now that's me bringing you to the water. You making the cup is looking at your personal situation to see that you're making too much out of, and seeing what actions you could take to not allow it to affect you so much and dictate your actions mentally and physically. And then that's you actually creating some new way to handle something that been common here since the beginning of time. And someone else probably going through similar, that if you do it in that way, you'll be in a position to be able to help someone going down that similar path to not go down the dead end in that path. Now you're in that same position of the same kind of quality of teaching someone, each one teach one again in the spiritual world.
Okay. Yes, sir. Keep going. I appreciate you. You're definitely an angel to the people of Earth. I appreciate you. So much clarity. Thank you.
Shit, shout out to CrystalizedVision. Real shit.